Die with zero, the wealth paradox nobody talks about. Meet Richard. He's the model citizen who followed every rule in the financial playbook. Save for rainy days, maximize compound interest, skip the lattes. Richard worked as an engineer for 45 years. He drove used cars, lived in a modest house, and maxed out his 401k every single year. When his friends traveled to Europe in their 20s, Richard stayed home and invested that money. When his family wanted to upgrade the kitchen in their 40s, he said, "Not yet, we need to be safe." At age 65, Richard finally retired with a net worth of $2.5 million. He did it. He won the game. But then the unthinkable happened. 2 years into retirement, Richard suffered a massive stroke. He spent the next 3 years in and out of hospitals, unable to walk, unable to travel, unable to enjoy the things he had waited 45 years to do. He died at age 70. When the executor examined his estate, the balance was $2.8 million. The market had actually grown while he was sick. Society looks at Richard and says, "What a successful man. He died a millionaire." But I look at Richard and see tragedy. I see a man who worked tens of thousands of hours, sacrificing for money he never actually used. In the true economics of life, Richard didn't win. He failed. He wasted 45 years of life energy accumulating chips he never cashed in. I'm Boris, and today we're exploring the most controversial, uncomfortable, and mathematically sound philosophy in personal finance: die with zero. This concept, popularized by Bill Perkins, suggests your goal shouldn't be to grow your net worth until the day you die. Your goal should be to reach the end of your life with exactly zero in your bank account. If you die with $100,000 left over, that's not a safety net. That's work you did for free. That's time you spent in an office instead of with your kids. This sounds terrifying, I know. We're hardwired to hoard, but stick with me. I'm going to show you the math of life. Energy, the science of memory dividends, and why being the richest corpse in the graveyard is the ultimate failure of resource management. What money actually is. The first mental shift we need to make is understanding what money actually is. We treat money like it's the goal. We look at our net worth app and get a dopamine hit when the number goes up. But money is not the goal. Money is a tool. Money is a stored battery of life energy. You trade your time, your finite dying hours, to get money. If you trade 2,000 hours of your life to earn $100,000 and then die without spending that $100,000, you didn't just save money. You effectively worked those 2,000 hours for free. You were a slave to the system. You sacrificed a year of your life for a number on a screen that vanished the moment your heart stopped. The utility curve of money. This brings us to the utility curve of money. This is where standard financial advice falls apart. Standard advice assumes a dollar is worth a dollar, no matter when you spend it. But that's biologically false. Imagine 3 people. Person A is 25 years old. Person B is 45. Person C is 85. I give each of them $10,000 and tell them to spend it on a ski trip to the Swiss Alps. The 25-year-old has the time of his life. He skis black diamonds, stays in a hostel, meets new people, parties until 4 a.m. The utility, the joy, he gets from that $10,000 is massive. The 45-year-old enjoys the skiing, but his knees hurt a little. He stays in a nice hotel because he can't do hostels anymore. He worries about emails piling up at work. High utility, but less than the 25-year-old. Now look at the 85-year-old. Can he ski? Probably not. Can he handle the high altitude? Maybe not. That $10,000 trip might actually be miserable for him. He might pay $10,000 just to sit in a lodge and drink cocoa. The money is the same amount, but the value extracted plummeted as he aged. This is the cruelty of biology. Your ability to convert money into enjoyment declines as you get older. The 3 variables of life. We have 3 variables in life: health, time, and money. In your 20s, you have health and time, but no money. In your 50s, you have money and health, but no time. In your 80s, you have money and time, but no health. The die with zero philosophy argues that saving excessively for your 80s is illogical because your consumption ability is at its lowest point. You're saving for a version of yourself that cannot play the game. Why do we hoard? So, why do we do it? Why do we hoard? Two reasons: the fear of running out and the kids. Let's address the fear of running out first. This is the biggest psychological block. But Boris, you say, I don't want to be eating cat food when I'm 90. I need that $1 million for safety. I get it. Longevity risk is real. You don't want to hit zero at 75 and then live to 95. That's a disaster. But dying with zero doesn't mean you aim for zero on the day you retire. It means you aim for zero the day you die. The solution isn't hoarding. The solution is annuities and long-term care insurance. If you're terrified of living too long, you buy an annuity. You give an insurance company a lump sum and they guarantee you a monthly paycheck until you die, whether that's at 80 or 110. That's how you hedge risk. Hoarding an extra $500,000 just in case is an inefficient way to manage fear. It locks up capital that could have been a family vacation or a career sabbatical while you were young enough to care. The inheritance problem. Now let's talk about the kids. This is the most common objection I hear. I'm not spending my money because I want to leave a legacy for my children. That's noble, but the data shows we're doing it wrong. The average age people receive an inheritance is 60 years old. Think about that. If you die at 85, your kids are likely in their late 50s or 60s. Does your 60-year-old child need your money? Probably not. They're already retired or close to it. Mortgage is paid off, the grandkids are grown. Getting a windfall at 60 has very little impact on their life trajectory. But imagine if you gave them that money when they were 30. At 30, that money is life-changing. It's a down payment on a house in a safe neighborhood. It's seed money to start a business. It's the ability to get out of crushing student debt. The die with zero philosophy says, give them their inheritance while you're alive. Give it when it actually matters. Why wait until you're cold and in the ground to help them? Give with a warm hand, not a cold hand. You get to see them enjoy it. You get to see the impact. That's a selfish joy you shouldn't rob yourself of. Memory dividends. So how do we actually apply this? We need to introduce a concept called memory dividends. We tend to think of experiences as fleeting. You go on vacation, come home, and the money is gone. But that's not true. Experiences are assets. When you have a profound experience, backpacking through Europe, learning an instrument, taking your kids to Disney World, that memory pays you a dividend every time you recall it. You tell stories at dinner parties. You look at photos. You laugh about the time you missed the train in Paris. Just like compound interest in the stock market, memory dividends compound over time. If you go on that trip at 25, you have 60 years of memory dividends to collect. If you wait until 65, you only have 15 years of dividends. From a mathematical perspective, delaying experiences destroys their ROI. Time buckets instead of bucket lists. This is why you need to stop using a bucket list. A bucket list is things you want to do before you die. It usually sits in a drawer until you're too old to do half of them. Instead, use time buckets. Draw a timeline of your life divided into 5-year increments. Age 30 to 35, 35 to 40, 40 to 45. Now take your goals and slot them into the specific time bucket where they make sense. Want to ski in Japan? That belongs in the 30 to 40 bucket. Your knees won't like it in the 70 bucket. Want to read every book in the library? That can go in the 70 to 80 bucket. Want to take your kids camping? That has a very specific window before they become teenagers and don't want to hang out with you. That goes in the 35 to 45 bucket. Once you slot these experiences into time buckets, you realize something scary. You're running out of time, not money. You realize you need to spend the money now to secure those memories because the window of opportunity is closing. The decumulation phase. Let's look at the math of the decumulation phase. Most of us are experts at accumulation. We know how to save. We have absolutely no idea how to spend. There's a psychological peak where your net worth should stop growing and start shrinking. For most people, this should happen way earlier than they think, often in their late 40s or early 50s. If you're 55 years old and your net worth is still going up every year, you're technically working for free. You've already won the game, but you're still playing because you don't know how to stop. You're the treadmill runner who crossed the finish line an hour ago, but is still running because the machine is on. Calculate your survival number. You need to calculate your survival number. This is the cost of your basic life plus healthcare until age 95. Anything above that number is not savings. It's consumption capital. It's money that must be spent or given away, or it's wasted. I want you to audit your life right now. If you died today, what's the balance in your bank account? Let's say it's $50,000. Now ask yourself, what experiences did you say no to this year to save that $50,000? Did you skip the bachelor party? Did you buy the cheapest flight with the 14-hour layover? Did you deny your kid the music lessons? If you died today, that $50,000 is a monument to the experiences you denied yourself. Final words. Now, I'm not telling you to be irresponsible. I'm not telling you to blow your rent money on bottle service. If you're in debt, if you're struggling to pay bills, this video isn't for you yet. Your focus is survival and accumulation. But for those of you who are savers, for those who've hit your coast fire number, for those who feel guilty every time you spend $1, you need to realize something. The aim of life is not to have the high score on the leaderboard when the game ends. The aim of life is to play the game. The tragedy of Richard wasn't that he died. We all die. The tragedy was that he delayed his life for a future that never arrived. He traded his prime years for a surplus that became a statistic. Don't be Richard. Calculate your number. Buy the experience. Give the money to your kids while they can still use it. Build the memory dividends. Your legacy isn't the number in your bank account. Your legacy is the memories you leave in the people you loved and the memories you keep in your own head. Die with zero regrets. Die with zero wasted energy. Die with zero. If this philosophy scared you a little or made you rethink that trip you've been putting off, hit that like button. I'm Boris, and I want you to be wealthy in life, not just on paper. Subscribe for more ways to optimize your life and resources. I'll see you in the next one.